Good morning, friends. Today we are going to deal with the topic, a small topic in auditing, that is audit of physical laws. In this audit of fiscal laws, we have two major topics, that is that is GST audit. One is GST audit, and the another one is tax audit. Normally, you come across tax audit in your articleship, but the GST audit is something new which many of the article students have not come through this GST audit, and some may have done this GST audit. First thing, what is GST audit and what is tax audit? GST audit is nothing but the new law named Goods and Services Tax, which came into picture in which is applicable from July 1st, 2017, and the government has framed CGST Act, SGST Act, IGST Act or UTGST Act. So in GST audit, the person who pays, that is GST, is commonly called taxpayer. When it comes to income tax audit, the person is normally called as an assessee. But in GST, in Goods and Services Tax Act, the person who pays tax is called as a taxpayer. Okay. Now, normally taxpayer files his GST returns monthly or quarterly as applicable. Now the QRMP scheme, that is came into picture. So normally the taxpayer will file monthly returns, that is he discloses his outward supplies in GSTR1 and he avails input tax credit as reflected in 2A, and he discharges his liability which he disclosed in GSTR1 of outward supplies through GSTR3B. He will discharges the taxpayer normally discharges the GST liability through input tax credit, which normally reflects in GSTR2A or 2B, or through cash. What is this GST audit all about? GST audit is nothing but an auditor, that means a chartered accountant or a cost accountant is appointed by the taxpayer to conduct the GST audit of his business. In GST audit, what the auditor, that is the chartered accountant or a cost accountant, will do, what is his main motto, what is his objective, whether to express an opinion or to check what are those things. Normally in GST we will come across certain terms. One is turnover. Turnover is nothing but the supplies which he discloses, that is outward supplies which he discloses in GSTR1, is normally the turnover, and the other thing is input tax credit. Normally the central government has imposed a restriction on availing input tax credit, that is it should be matched with GSTR 2A or 2B while availment of the credit. And the third thing is we will pay the tax. Who? The taxpayer will pay the tax. He discharges his GST liability in GSTR 3B through utilizing the input tax credit or through cash. Will pay cash from cash ledger. These are the terms we will use in GST audit. Normally in GST audit form, that is GST 999C, is which normally called as reconciliation statement. Reconciliation statement. This is the auditor will discloses he will normally reconcile the turnover with GST records and the income tax records, input tax credit which he has availed in the books of accounts with the GST records. Certainly, these are the things which the GST auditor will do. Normally, GST audit, that is GSTR 9C, will be submitted by chartered accountant or a cost accountant. Before this GSTR 9C, the taxpayer responsibility is to file annual return first. Annual return in form GSTR 9. Normally the taxpayer will file annual return, and now the GST auditor will find out the differences between the annual return and the books of accounts. Annual return is nothing but the summary of which he discloses in GSTR 1 or GSTR 3B, that is the monthly returns. The differences between the annual return and the financials, that is the books of accounts. The auditor will reconcile the difference between the numbers which has been reflected in the annual return, that means GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B summary extract, and the books of accounts of that particular taxpayer. Normally, GSTR 9C, that is reconciliation statement, that is GST audit. What is the threshold limit for applicability of this GST audit means where a taxpayer who has crossed the threshold limit, that is turnover, was exceeded of 5 crores in a financial year, then for that taxpayer the GST audit applies. That means his books of accounts need to be audited by a GST under GST Act, that is GST audit. Normally, the auditor will reconcile the differences between the numbers which the taxpayer has disclosed in his books of accounts, that is financials, and the annual return, which normally is the responsibility of the taxpayer to file. There may be differences. Now, the auditor will file, that means he reconciles. Normally, the form is called a reconciliation statement, that is GSTR 9C. The entire GST audit is all about the GSTR 9C. What the auditor will verify? What the auditor will verify? Normally, the auditor will verify whether turnover is correct or not, and the input tax credit which the taxpayer avail is within the normal limits or not. Means whether the particular expense on which the taxpayer has paid the GST and is allowed to take credit. Okay, but not on all expenses the taxpayer is not allowed to take credit. That think the GST auditor need to observe whether the credit which has been availed by the taxpayer is the eligible credit or not. Whether the credit which the taxpayer has taken in GSTR 3B is the eligible credit or not. That thing you need to check. And the third thing is refund. Whether the taxpayer had taken a refund is within the normal limits or not, whether he is eligible for certain refund or not, that the GST auditor need to check. Now the GSTR form 9C, GSTR 9C, which is the reconciliation statement, normally divided into two parts, part A, part B. Part A is what the reconciliation statement actually is. Reconciliation statement actually is part A, GSTR form 9C part A, which deals with the reconciliation statement, and part B is the certification by the auditor who conducts the GST audit. This is the certification and this is the reconciliation statement. In reconciliation statement we have 5 more parts: part 1 Roman 1, part Roman 2, part Roman 3, part Roman 4 and part Roman 5. GST audit form 9C, part A, part B. Part A is the reconciliation statement and part B is the certification by the auditor who conducts the GST audit. In reconciliation statement we have 5 subparts: part Roman 1, part Roman 2, part Roman 3, part Roman 4 and part Roman 5. What is this all parts, subparts which deals with? Part 1 is the basic details. Basic details means for which financial year you are auditing, you are conducting GST audit, and what is the GSTIN of the taxpayer, what is the legal name of the taxpayer, what is the trade name of the taxpayer, and whether this taxpayer is liable for an audit under any other law or not. These are all comes under basic details. GSTR 9C part A, part B. Part A is the reconciliation statement. In we have 5 subparts: part Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3, Roman 4, Roman 5. Roman 1 which deals with the basic details. In basic details we come across for which financial year the GST audit pertains to, and what is the GSTIN of the taxpayer, what is his legal name, what is his trade name, and whether the taxpayer is liable for audit under any other law or not. For financial year, for example, this is the financial year 21-22, right? 21-22. So financial year means financial year 2021-2022. GSTIN means particular GSTIN of the taxpayer. Trade name, legal name and trade name. Legal name and trade name, sometimes there may be difference. For example, if you have, there is a, for individual the legal name is his name, but the trade name may be different. For example, if the legal name may be Gaddi Vinith, but the trade name may be some other, like Gaddi Vinith and Associates, like that. And the third and the fifth thing is whether that taxpayer is liable for any other audit, like whether he is liable for income tax audit, whether he is liable for companies audit, Companies Act audit under Companies Act 2013, like that. Whether he is liable for any other audit, that you need to disclose here: financial year, GSTIN, legal name, trade name, and whether the taxpayer is liable for audit under any other act. If he is liable for audit under Income Tax Act, you need to Write here Income Tax Act 1961. Whether he is liable for audit under Companies Act, then Companies Act 2013. Like that, you should note down there. You should write. You should disclose. And the second part is, this is the major one. This is important area, and this is the major one. Part 2, which deals with reconciliation of turnover. Okay, reconciliation of turnover. What with what? Reconciliation of turnover. Okay, but what with what? The turnover which he has disclosed in audited financial statements with the turnover which has disclosed in annual return. Turnover which has disclosed in the audited financial statements with the turnover which has disclosed in the annual return. Sir, whether there may be any differences with this? Yes, obviously yes. Because annual return is the summary, means the extract. This is auto populated obviously from the GST returns which you will file, that is GSTR1 or GSTR3B, but subject to changes of 5%. You may make any changes to match with the audited financial statements. You may make changes up to 5% of the turnover disclosed in GSTR1 or GSTR3B to match the audited financial statements. Audited financial statements means which you have submitted for income tax, like that. The reconciliation of these two is which we deals in part 2. Here in basic details, how many points you came across? Point number 1, which is the financial year. Point number 2, which is the GSTN. And point number 3 is the legal name and trade name. This is 3A and this is 3B. And point number 4, whether you are liable to audit under any act or not. When it comes to part 2, under what? Under part A. Under part A, we are in part 2. What part A deals with? Reconciliation statement. In reconciliation statement, that is part A, we are in part 2, which normally deals with the reconciliation of turnover which you have disclosed in the audited financial statements with audited financial statements with annual return. 4 points you covered in basic details, that is part 1. And here come with the point number 5. What is point number 5? Point number 5 is the reconciliation of gross turnover. What is gross turnover? What is net turnover? Gross turnover means before any credit notes, before any discounts, that is the gross turnover. That means turnover which are disclosed in the P&L or trading account turnover. This is the gross turnover. Point number 5, reconciliation of this gross turnover. In this point number 5, we have subparts. First thing is A, point number A. In point number 5, in point number 2, the first point is point number 5, means this entire part A, we have serial number. Although it is divided into 5 parts, the serial number remains continuing for all these 5 parts. And the 4 serial numbers we have dealt in basic details. Now in part 2, we are dealing with point number 5, that is reconciliation of gross turnover. In reconciliation of gross turnover, point number 5, we have subpart, that is A. This is turnover including exports.